All right, we are live, I believe. Hey, folks, happy Thanksgiving. About 4 days late. We're here. Oh, is that my phone? My phone making all that noise or yours?
I don't think it's fine.
What's going on here? Sorry, folks. I got the noise buzzer on my phone and saying, hey, Randy Newberg is going live on Facebook right now. I was supposed to mute that. Sorry about that. Anyhow, last week we gave everybody, the production crew, the whole works, gave everybody Wednesday night off so they could get home for Thanksgiving because we had spent the prior week in Nevada chasing desert bighorn sheep. See that right there? You want to get yourself one of these really cool t-shirts. I hope that Leupold has them out on their website. I know they have t-shirts there. I probably ended up with some limited edition version, and now everyone's going to want one that has just bighorn sheep on it. But anyhow, we were in Nevada last week. Our buddy Mike Spitzer shot a really, really big desert bighorn ram. And there was just no way we were going to get to a connection in time to do Elk Talk Live, so we appreciate all of you hanging with us. And the week before, we came right here to this spot. We directly wired ourselves to our internet connection, and 15 minutes into it, something went haywire. So, sorry about that. But anyhow, we're going to get after it because in about 45 minutes, I am leaving for Arizona. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Randy, it's going to be 9 o'clock in Montana. You're heading out to Arizona? Yeah. My buddy Jerry Pritchard has a late rifle elk tag in Arizona, and I promised him I'd drive down there, I'd scout, I'd help him do everything, because I've hunted this unit twice before. And it's a classic late season hunt. And we're going to be down there. Season opens on Friday. And the idea is we're going to have one lined up, ready to shoot Friday morning. The weather, this is the bad part. You guys have heard me talk about past episodes how I hate hunting in the wind. It's supposed to be wind mixed with rain and snow every day we're there. I hate hunting in the wind. I don't know why it is, but I'm not good at hunting in the wind. And we're going to have that condition, it looks like. So anyhow, just want to thank everybody who makes this possible. This Elk Talk Live series, we've been doing it now. I was looking, we did our first one in May. So it's now late November. We're really getting along, getting through this. But the companies that make this possible, and like a lot of the things we do, would not be possible without these companies. Bowtech, right here. You heard us a little while ago, about 2-3 weeks ago, talk about how Bowtech just released this bow this month, the new Realm. This is a Realm X. They're the ones who, this was their brainchild, this whole Elk Talk Live thing. We got Leupold right there. They're always helping us. Onyx Maps. Onyx, if you go to onyxmaps.com, and you use promo code RANDY, R-A-N-D-Y, you're going to get 20% off all your app products. There you go. You want to do some Christmas shopping for family? There you go. Get them the Onyx system. Additional companies, Tight Spot Quivers, Ripcord Rests, Black Gold Sights, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and GoHunt.com. You're going to see us start doing a whole bunch of videos with GoHunt.com because it's going into application season. When I get home from Arizona, it's all about planning the next season. And GoHunt is what I use for that. I use their insider service. And again, promo code RANDY, R-A-N-D-Y, is going to get you $50 of free credit in their gear shop. So those are the groups and the companies that make this possible. Without them, we wouldn't be doing this on normally Wednesday nights tonight. Monday night. We are going to do it Wednesday night next week. I'm going to be at the Mirage Casino in Las Vegas next Wednesday night. I'm sure I'm not the headliner on the marquee or anything. That's probably like, I don't know, Dwight Yoakam or Reba McEntire or something. But we'll be doing it live from Vegas because I'll be there for the Hunter and Outdoor Christmas that the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation puts on. If you are in the Vegas area, stop in and see me. And I'll be at booths, I'll be walking the floor, doing all kinds of stuff. So, what you got any questions out there, Marcus?
We got a few non-elk hunting questions.
Non-elk hunting questions. Non-elk. All right. Do we want to talk about, no, as long as they're not personal, like, hey, Randy, what color is your underwear or something like that.
What are your thoughts on plains deer in Colorado leftover tags?
Leftover plains deer tags in Colorado, I'd go and do it if I had a place to hunt. Some tremendous mule deer hunting and whitetail hunting out in the plains of eastern Colorado. The only downside is that it's really hard to find access. There are some pieces of public, but those tags usually aren't ones that are leftovers. Right now, I think there's just about always leftovers available for those plains deer hunts, but it's not something I have a lot of experience with, so sorry about that. Someone asked, what's the realm cost, or how do I get a Bowtech to hook me up? I'm not sure what they cost, to be honest with you. They're just coming out. Dealers are just getting them. I get mine, the pro shop I use in Bowtech, they really emphasize getting these through your Bowtech dealer. I use Big Sky Archery here in Bozeman, Montana. Yeah, what I would do is I'd find who the Bowtech dealer is in your area and call them and find out. What is my number one tip for a hunter moving out west from the East Coast? Oh boy, there's not just one tip. I moved here from the Midwest, not the East Coast. I made every stupid mistake in the world. You guys have heard me say this on this Elk Talk series. If there was a dumb mistake to make while elk hunting, I figured out how to make it. I spent my first 6 years hunting my brains out and did not kill an elk. I took a whole summer and studied elk, studied everything about them, what their needs were at certain times of the year. Said, all right, this is when I'm going to be hunting them. This is what they need that time of year. Looked at the landscape and said, I think they'll go to this spot to satisfy that need. I spent the whole summer doing that. Opening day, I killed the bull. And since then, it's like, Randy, why didn't you think about that before? So think like an elk. Know what elk need at the time of the year you're hunting them, and you will know where to find them. To me, that's probably the best one piece of advice I could give. All right, someone says it's working fine today. Hey, any Bigfoot sightings? No Bigfoot sightings this year. I've heard that some people have said there have been some. Oh, J.R. Young wants to know, what are your thoughts on a late bull hunt in Arizona next week? Well, J.R., I'm going to be hunting there, so let's follow this question. The temps have been warm. Yes, they have. The country has a lot of plateau flat juniper pinyon. I'm looking for sanctuaries, isolated washes, or way out in remote flats, far from roads, or both. All of the above, but canyons, even little canyons that are far from roads, are sanctuaries in Arizona. Because if you get to northern Arizona, yeah, there's some country with mountains and that will have sanctuary stuff. But a lot of it is just flat, just almost big stretches of unbroken pinyon juniper. But they'll have little canyons running through them. Those canyons, the ugliest ones, the nastiest ones, and the ones furthest from the roads, those are going to be your sanctuaries. So you know how to get a hold of me, JR. Get a hold of me, and if we're done early, I'll come and pack your elk. I think your wife has the tag, if I heard correctly on here. Yeah, I think your wife has the tag. I'll pack her elk. I'm not packing yours. Jim Squibb says, you in Vegas next weekend for the RMEF Hunters Christmas? I am there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning. I got to get back here because if this whole platform is going to continue, I got to save my marriage. We were just coming back from Nevada and we're doing the math. In calendar year 2017, I think we've been on the road. We couldn't remember if it was 100 or 101 days. And now I'm heading out for another 13 days. So I'm coming back that weekend. So I won't be there on the weekend. I might be there Saturday morning, but I'm going to be home Sunday night, the 10th, if it's the end of the world. All right. Someone says I got nothing here. Hopefully that's not the case of everybody else. Hey, Jonathan, he says, hi, Marcus. So, yeah, Marcus is running the production gig tonight. We gave Michael an extended Thanksgiving weekend, but we're going to pick him up in Vegas. Let's see.
I got one.
All right.
Do you have any advice for someone trying to get into the Western Point game, but on a budget?
Someone trying to get into the Western Point game on a budget. Yeah, we did a whole YouTube series on this. So if you go to our YouTube channel, Randy Newberg Hunter, and you watch a bunch of these videos. They're mostly under the series called Elk Talk, not Elk Talk Lab, but Elk Talk. The things that I'd look at if you're on a budget, the very first place I'd be applying is probably in Wyoming. It's first out of the chute. It's in January. There's no required license, nothing like that. You'll know in Wyoming usually by the time you have to apply in Arizona. Now, Arizona, it depends on what your budget is. You have to buy a license to apply in Arizona. But you only have to send in $7.50 or $15 for the application fee. The other place that's really cheap to apply is New Mexico. You buy a $65 refundable license. So you check the box that says, I want to get refunded if I don't draw. And there's no points there. So if you're just starting, you have as good of a chance in New Mexico as I do. And I've been applying in New Mexico for 25 years. So on a budget, you just have to look at it and say, all right, where are the places that building points in the long run gives me value? And I would say the places that give you the best value are, for points, there's going to be 3 states that I always look at: Arizona, Wyoming, and Colorado. Yeah, you will be able to go elk hunting there in any of those 3 states probably within 4 to 6 years if you don't have your eye set on the absolute glory unit. And it's rather reasonably priced to build enough points. So that's where I would get into it. All right. Man, I've got so many questions. They're buzzing by me here so fast, I can't read them all. You got any more?
There's a lot of ones that we could rehash from that I know we've covered.
Yeah, one of the things a lot of people say, hey, you aren't taking my question. And a lot of times when that's the case, the reason is it's one that we've taken maybe 2 weeks ago, or we've taken multiple times during the process. So if we don't get your question, appreciate your patience. It's probably one we've covered in the past, and that's why we wouldn't take it today. But let's see. What made me decide? I don't know if we have enough time to answer this one. What made me decide to start my own show? The real quick and easy is I got tired of what I was seeing out there. At the time when we started this in 2008, no one was doing exclusively self-guided public land hunts. And I don't have a problem with guided hunts. That's great. I don't have a problem with private land hunts. That's great. But I'm a CPA in my other life, so I looked at the demographics and said, all right, 70% of the hunters in the West hunt public land. Nobody is doing exclusively public land. Yeah, some people were doing some of it, but not exclusively. Then you look at 90% of the hunters go self-guided. Why is nobody doing exclusively self-guided? Well, I can tell you why no one was doing those two. It's really hard to have success. But I'm kind of bullheaded, and I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. And that's kind of how I got into it. It probably wasn't the smartest thing to do financially. My wife could vouch for that, but it's, well, it's, here we are 10 years later. We are wrapping up season 10. How many of these seasons have you been in on, Marcus? 3?
Yeah. Not very many. In the future, yeah.
Three of the 10 seasons. I'm going to turn this over to Marcus someday because I'm getting old and cobbled and crippled up here. Oh, one thing we're supposed to talk about, if you want to share this with your friends for sure, but remember we have a new text number and we're getting ready to start giving away more stuff. Oh, last week we got cut off before we gave away the Leupold bag. Oh, we ought to do that this week. Yeah. Let's do that. We got the Slingo bag kit here from Leupold. You see that? Let's give one of those away tonight. So if you leave a question, we're going to pick, Leupold's going to randomly pick somebody, and they're going to get one of those bags. I was getting to the point that if you want to get notified when we're going live, and if you want to get in on the drawings, you want to text Randy, R-A-N-D-Y, to this number, and the number is 77453. I almost forgot about that. People will be like, how do I get a hold of you? How do I get signed up? All right. I know you eat elk heart, but do you eat pronghorn heart? Yep. And we eat moose heart, and we eat deer heart, and is there any heart we haven't eaten, Marcus? I ate bison heart. Marcus shot an elk in Wyoming this year. We ate the tongue. We ate all kinds of stuff off that thing. The buzzards were probably mad at us on that one. So, all right. Brandon asks the question, first season bull tag in Oregon. You have 5 days to hunt. The season starts the end of October, so that tells me end of October they're in post-rut. Will the big bulls be separated from their cows by then? Yes, they will. In that late into the post-rut period, you're almost getting to the late season, which I usually say is November 1st. The bigger bulls, they are gone and they're off. They're either by themselves. They might even by that time be starting to form their bachelor group. So don't look for cows and calf groups in late October if you're looking for the mature bulls. Doesn't matter, Oregon, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Colorado, you name it, that applies everywhere.
What would you recommend when you keep going further into the backcountry, but you keep finding more hunters? Western Wyoming.
What would you recommend in Western Wyoming when the further you go into the backcountry, the more hunters you are finding? Well, then if all that hunting pressure is back there, the sanctuaries are... elk are... Have you ever poured water on an uneven surface? You know how it kind of moves to the path of least resistance? Think about elk hunting in sort of the same way. Elk are going to move away from hunting pressure in a similar way. So if everybody's in the backcountry, maybe the elk are just 3/4 of a mile away somewhere. Go to where the hunting pressure is not as intense and the elk feel more comfortable. If that's what's happening year after year in the place you're hunting, I can assure you the elk are programmed, ooh, guess what? It's that time of year. And they leave those places. And if it's overrun with hunters, they're going to go find sanctuaries in other places. But most of the deep backcountry in Wyoming, a lot of that opens in September, and a lot of it's open in early October. And those are really prime periods to be hunting. You're not quite into the post-rut hunt yet, and you're not really dealing with sanctuaries as much as you might be picking up some of the tail end of the rut. So, if I find that kind of hunting pressure, I go somewhere else. And there are times when the pressure has been way back in a basin and I've come and hunted closer to the trailhead. Maybe that's what you got to do. So, all right. Do you think chronic wasting disease took so long to get to Montana because we get to hunt deer during the rut with a rifle and there is a little bit younger age class of deer? No, I don't. I think if you look at how chronic wasting disease moves across the landscape, it moves at a slower pace unless it's translocated due to animals being moved. And if you look at how it naturally grew from where it was first found in Colorado, it slowly moved, and now it's into much of Wyoming, and now it's just the first 2 cases this year, I think, in wild animals were detected in Montana. I don't think it has anything to do with age class or anything like that. It's just a function of where it started, where it was first documented, and just the pace at which it moves geographically. Oh, but it's going to be a big issue, I can tell you that. I wish there was some sort of prevention, some sort of cure. CWD is a management issue. We're going to be managing CWD. It's not going away. It's on the landscape. We're going to have to figure out how do we adapt, how do we make sure we do the right things, because it's here, and it's here to stay, unfortunately. Many of you watching, you live in states where it's already been there. You know that you've had to change some of your season structures, how you handle animals, whether it's deer or elk, how you report them, how you get them tested, all that stuff, because it's a disease that's on the landscape. Let's see. Randy, why do you prefer the 3rd rifle season and not the 4th rifle season? You're talking about Colorado. The reason I prefer the 3rd rifle season is I can get the tag over the counter. The 4th rifle season, I have to draw a tag, and that requires some number of points. That's the only reason. Oh, what did I get there?
What are the best hunting organizations to donate to?
Oh boy, what are the best hunting organizations to donate to? There's a ton of them. I mean, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation helped sponsor and make this possible. I sit on the board of the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. If you think about all the other groups that are out there, there's Wild Sheep Foundation, there's Mule Deer Foundation, there's Ducks Unlimited, Wild Turkey Federation. I mean, I could go on and on and on. It doesn't matter which one. Find the one that is your passion and find the one you're going to be active and advocating for. That's the important part of it. I don't care whether it's your local rod and gun club. I don't care. I don't think anyone should care. It's what do you feel is going to make the most difference for you? Join it, get involved, be an advocate, donate your time, your money, your talent, whatever, and go do it. That's what I love about hunting is we have a level of volunteerism that is remarkable in the hunting community. So thanks for doing it. Oh, let's see. Best area in Montana for deer, northeast Montana or southeast Montana? Given how bad the winters are in northeast Montana, I would, across just like the normal range, I would say you're probably going to have more luck in southeast Montana. There's more public land. The winters are usually a little bit milder, but there are some lunker deer in northeast Montana if you know where to look for them. Now all the Montana guys are going to say, Newberg, shut up. Oh, well. We got any specific elk questions here, Marcus? I think elk season's winding down, so we're starting to get all kinds of generic questions about.
A couple people have asked when the Arizona elk hunt's going to play.
Which Arizona elk hunt, I wonder? Because we had an Arizona elk hunt where I went down in October, and you heard about that on our podcast. Are you working on that one, Marcus?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll have to ask Marcus that question. He's working on getting that one edited out. And then we're going to Arizona in about 25 minutes. And we're going to be down there. Season starts Friday. So that one will air. I'm looking at a calendar over there. I don't know. January, February, somewhere in there. Is that a safe timeline?
I'm hoping to get it done before that.
Marcus says before then, but Marcus Silvanen says, I open this up, and the first thing he says is, hi, Marcus. Marcus is a popular name around here today. But let's see. Holy cow. You people ask more questions than I'm able to read. Let's see. Will you have any more full episodes on YouTube from this season? Oh, yeah. We're just getting started on YouTube. Those few you've seen on YouTube, that's why Marcus is staying home this trip. He's going to edit. We're so far behind on editing on YouTube. So you see the day by day that goes on YouTube. If you really want to see the polished story with a lot more depth and thought and consideration to the conservation story, go out to our Amazon channel. We have a channel on Amazon Prime, and we're going to start loading those new hunts from this year. They'll start going up there in January. Right now, we've got seasons 4 and 5 of Fresh Tracks out there. I think we got season 3 up there also, and we're getting ready to get approval from Amazon. Season 6, we've got one of those already up there that you're going to see. So there's going to be lots of it there. One of the things we're always interested in, and if you want to put comments here, we want to know what content you folks want to see. I mean, if everybody says, Randy, do more elk YouTube videos, hey, we're going to do it. Or, hey, Randy, go out to your pro shop, show me everything start to finish about how those guys put your bow together. From your tight spot quiver to your black gold sight to your ripcord rest to how you select it. Whatever you want, that's what we want to talk about. Well, I mean, for me, I love just talking hunting. So I could talk about any topic, but I want to talk about the things that all of you find important. That's what all of our partners, Bowtech, Leupold, Onyx, Go Hunt, they want to know what you want to know. How can we be helpful? How can we be a resource? So you let us know, and we'll try to produce it, because right now we're also putting together our calendar for next year. So let's just get that straightened out right now. It's the end of November, right? When's December start? Friday? Yeah. Whew. So, January, you're going to want to be thinking about your applications for Wyoming elk. February, you're going to want to be thinking about Arizona if that's on your list. March, you better really be on the ball because in March, you got Montana, you got Utah, you get to April, and it really picks up. Then you've got Colorado elk, you've got New Mexico elk, what else? Nevada elk. So we're really going to start getting into these elk application strategies. And we did a video out on our YouTube channel called Hunt Elk Every Year. And the reason we did that is a lot of people think, oh, well, I got to draw one of these glory tags or I can't go elk hunting. No. In that video, we tell you there are places in the West you can hunt elk every year, whether you're a rifle hunter, a muzzleloader hunter, an archery hunter. Go hunting. Here's what happens a lot of times is I get an email from someone who said, man, it's taken me 18 years. I finally drew this tag. This is my first elk hunt. I'm like, oh, no, hire an outfitter. Because if you've not had years and years of elk hunting, but you've drawn some super glory tag, you've not done yourself, or you've not done the homework and everything else to prepare yourself to be an experienced elk hunter, you might end up being frustrated on that glory tag. When I say glory tag, these are the ones that are really hard to draw that everyone wants. The way that you start building and backfilling that knowledge is, okay, I know I can hunt Colorado every year. I know I can hunt Arizona every 4 to 5 years. I know I can hunt Idaho possibly every year, maybe Oregon, whatever it is, go elk hunting. Whether it's cow elk, whether it's bull elk, I don't care. You can be elk hunting every year no matter where you live. We've done articles about how to hunt bull elk every year for under $1,500. We talked about how to do it going to Colorado. Well, Colorado's raised their fee since then, but still, if you live somewhere away from elk country, you can still hunt elk every year for under $2,000. And I know that's a chunk of money, but it's still within your reach. For most people, it's going to be within their reach. So make sure you go. That, to me, that's the important part. What else we got, Marcus? All right, someone's got one here. People ask me these Roosevelt elk questions. You know what the answer to that is, Marcus? We just got to go Roosevelt elk hunting. Yeah. Because I don't know anything about them. I've never hunted them. I assume they're kind of like Rockies, but I don't want to pretend like I know something about Roosevelt elk when I haven't hunted them. That would be, oh man, that'd be kind of like making it up. So let's see. Randy, can you go into more detail on finding sanctuary areas and what to look for? And we've covered this many, many times, but right now, these hunts, these late hunts that are happening, season just ended yesterday in Montana, but you still have some late seasons going on in Idaho, Arizona, places like that. There's still some late seasons. Sanctuary areas are places where distance and topography allow elk to get away from hunting pressure. And it could be a mountain where it's steep. It could be a canyon where it's steep. It could just be 2 miles of nasty blowdown that nobody wants to walk through. If it's a place where you look at it and say, you know, that doesn't look like a lot of fun, I'm not sure I really want to haul an elk out of there, the odds are you're close to or you have found a sanctuary. And sanctuaries are important in the post-rut and in the late season. They're not that important in the early season, in the pre-rut or peak rut. Just remember, sanctuaries apply at certain times of the year. 3 out of the 5 calendar periods, I don't worry about sanctuary. The later 2, post-rut and late season, those are the 2 calendar periods when I worry and think about sanctuary. Let's see. How important is water for elk when there's snow on the ground? Not important at all. They will get all the moisture they need from that. What is my favorite Nevada tag? Oh, whatever tag I have. I don't care if it's elk, deer, antelope. I haven't had a sheep tag there, but we were just sheep hunting there last week. Nevada is a remarkable place, just like Arizona. There's so much being done with so little. And in other words, by that I mean the game agencies are providing so much opportunity on very marginal habitats. and they're doing a really good job of balancing opportunity with age class. I don't know what would be my favorite tag in Nevada. Same with Arizona. My favorite tag is the one that's in my pocket. Let's see.
Do elk go back to the same area year after year during the rut?
Do elk go back to the same area year after year in the rut? Yes, that's my experience. And you know how weird it is that sometimes you'll be walking across a series, there's a bunch of ridges, right? And you're hopping from one to the other, and they all kind of look the same. But this one ridge is full of rubs, not just fresh rubs from this year, but you can see rubs from a year, 2, 3 years ago. You see dead pines where they've just been girdled from elk rubbing. I have no idea why that is. What is it that ridge attracts more elk than this one? But whatever it is, they go to the same places year after year after year and do their rutting. And it's not like they go in one little pocket. I'm talking about, okay, this basin or this big long knife ridge that comes off the main mountain range. They do go to the same place year after year. Someone here asked a question about snow on the ground and water. I'm going to interject something, and it's based on my research for the hunt we're going on in Arizona. Arizona has had, I've been looking at the precipitation charts, it really has had no measurable moisture since September. So we're almost 3 months without any measurable moisture. Well, guess what? I'm going to go look for sanctuaries. But I know Arizona is super dry. I know that just about the only moisture or the only water that's going to be around this time of year are man-made water sources. Trick tanks. Some of the ag producers make these big water tanks, like welded ones they put out there for their cattle. A lot of the sand tanks, like the dirt tanks, are going to be dry. So my strategy is, and I'm not going to show you this on my map because it's if people know exactly where we're at, but we're going to a spot. There's a couple canyons, but there are 3 man-made water sources within, one's about 1.5 miles, the other 2, 1.5 miles, and about 2 miles. So it's the sanctuary that has the closest proximity to water. And that goes back to, what do elk need at the time of year you're hunting them? Well, I know they need sanctuary in the late season, but in a place like Arizona that hasn't had any moisture since September, they need water. I put those two together. I'm hoping, now watch, when I report to you next Wednesday after all this is done and say, oh, we didn't see an elk, you're going to say, Newberg, you don't know what you're talking about. Hopefully we're going to find some bull elk in places like I have on my map right here. So let's see, any thoughts on doing a video on how you load your meat in your pack? I've never really thought about doing a video on that because I guess I assume that when I bought my, see, there again, I make a lot of assumptions. A question like that is really helpful. I assume everyone's been doing this forever. And we should do that, Marcus. We might want to put that on the whiteboard, how we load our pack. So I hadn't thought of it until you just mentioned it now, Dale. So maybe that'll get done in the next year. Do I process my own meat or do I take it to a butcher? My favorite part is processing meat. Unfortunately, when you're only home for a day or 2 days in between multiple trips, I end up having to use a commercial processor a lot. I'm here in Bozeman, Montana. I use Yellowstone Game Processing out east of town. They do a great job. Sometimes when we're on the road, I have to find a local processor there. I don't like doing it that way. My preference is to do it all myself. So, how late in the season can you use a call to call in bulls? When you say call them in, I don't think you're going to be able to call them in much beyond the peak rut, which I think is the first week of October. After that, you might get them to locate, you might get them to bugle or whatever, say partway through the post-rut period. But by October 15th, my calls are in the truck. well, I shouldn't say that. I always carry a diaphragm call with me in case I want to stop one. It's like, just to get them to stop if they're moving off. But calling gets to be very marginally effective. You'll call in hunters. If you want to see how many hunters are in the woods, start calling in October, late October. But I've not had much luck. So, Randy, can you drop me a pin in Idaho where a big bull is hanging out? Preferably one that does not see or smell very good. I keep telling Onyx Maps, they got to come up with this new layer. They need 2 layers. One, the layer of where the animals are. The other layer that we came up with this when we were in Nevada. We decided that one thing that makes places like Nevada cool is there's no cell service. Onyx needs a layer of where the crappy cell service is, because I'm sure there is some correlation to crappy cell service and low hunting pressure. There's a business chance for you right there. I don't even need any claim to that. Randy, how do we make an antelope the size of an elk? I don't know, but if you figure it out, let me know. I love that stuff. How hard is it to draw Wyoming antelope the first year you put in for a tag? Depends on what unit you put in for. Like a lot of the places, whether it's elk, deer, antelope, the places that have a reputation for good quality and lots of public land are going to be very hard. If you can solve the access riddle, which that's what we try to do, the odds get better and better. So, I don't know. Your odds might be 10%, might be 1% in certain units, up to 10%. Some units, it's guaranteed if there's hardly any public land. So, whew, man. Ethan. Hi, Randy from Ontario, Oregon. Hi, Ethan. Wow. What is your plan for the classic elk hunt in Arizona? I think I kind of explained that about I'm using sanctuaries next to water. What do you do if you get pushed down the mountain because of the snow but the elk don't follow? I go back up the mountain. My theory is if you get trekking poles and got good boots, you can get through more snow than what is required to push elk off the mountain. I've had my camp pushed off the mountain. Don't get me wrong there, where I just had to go in and retrieve my camp, but I hiked back up in there and killed the bull. So usually elk are going to come down before it becomes too much snow for you to negotiate. Mm-hmm. What do you got, Marcus? Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate the good luck wish. We need that. We need all the luck we can get. All right.
Scouting for elk in January.
Scouting for elk in January? I don't scout for elk in January. Let's see. Holy cow.
Is there a guide to distinguish the Leupold line of optics, i.e. the VX3s or VX?
Yeah, okay. Is there a way or a guide to distinguish the Leupold line of rifle scopes? Because they have VX3, VX5, VX6. What the VX dash number is the multiplier of your magnification. So a VX3 means your multipliers are going to be a 3 to 9. 3 to 9 is a function of 3. 4 to 12. 5 to 15. VX5, same principle applies. 2 to 10. 4 to 20. 3 to 15. VX6, 2 to 12. 3 to 18. 4 to 24. So that's really what those VX dash stands for. And also the VX6 is like the best rifle scope you can possibly buy, especially at the price it comes in at. You can say that about all the Leupold scopes. It's an intersection of, value is the intersection of price and quality. The quality is so high on these scopes that the price is just amazing that you get that quality. But the kind of the way they do it is the Cadillac, the scope where you can get every kind of bell and whistle and feature is the VX6. Slightly down from that with a fewer features is the VX5. Slightly down from that is the VX3. I've got them all. They are all so much more capable than I am. It's not, it's, if you ever get to Beaverton, Oregon, go and ask Leupold if you can get a factory tour. Now, Leupold's like, Randy, don't send everybody here. It is so incredible to go there and see how they make rifle scopes and see what their quality control is, see how they test them, see what they do. Cool stuff. We could do a whole Elk Talk live series on that. And then what I should do is go down the road to Bowtech down in Eugene and do the same thing. But let's see. Hey, Randy, archery deer in Arizona for the month of January. Do you think sitting salt or water would be effective? I suspect sitting water would be. I don't know where you would sit salt unless maybe in Arizona you can put salt out. I don't know. And in a lot of states you can't do that. But I'm sure that water would be very effective. Randy, how come you never hunt Oregon elk? Nothing against Oregon. I just, one, it never fits our calendar. Two, if you look at the non-resident cost opportunity intersection, it's pretty low on the list of the other Western hunts that non-residents travel to. So that's why I've never done it. But I will be there hunting Roosevelt someday. I can assure you of that. But as far as Rocky Mountain elk in Eastern Oregon, I think there are better places that have a better mix of public land, of quality and cost than what Eastern Oregon has. So that's why I don't ever make it there. All right, what else we got, Marcus? Holy cow, we've already been going for 40 minutes. Am I missing anything?
Someone was wondering if you're ever going to think about doing a video on how you pack your backpack, strategically speaking.
A video about how I strategically pack my backpack with my gear. We've done the reverse of that. We've non-strategically dumped my backpack out. We have a bag dump series of videos to show you what's in there. I don't know. I guess I've never strategically thought about it other than, okay, I have these load cells that has all my important stuff. That's in the bottom of my pack. On top of that is a few lighter things, game bags and extra clothes. I just do it. I don't. maybe we need to do a video on that. I've never really thought about it, but so I hope that Wednesday. What day is Wednesday? The 6th, right? Wednesday, December 6th. We're going to be doing Elk Talk from Las Vegas on our way back home from Arizona, and I hope that we can tell you that my buddy Jerry was run over. Just there were so many elk he didn't know which one to shoot. We know that's not going to be the case, but hopefully he gets one. The beauty of Arizona is everyone wants to hunt there for archery, early rifle, or muzzleloader, and I get it. Those are fantastic hunts. I've had them. Unbelievable hunts. Me, I just want to go elk hunting. So I kind of throttle back my expectations and I apply for these late elk hunts, the late rifle hunts, which are usually the Friday after Thanksgiving. It slides sometimes. It's December 1st like it is this year. Those are way easier to draw. They're much tougher hunts for sure. But you're hunting these same herds with the same age class, the same reputation for some really nice bulls, tons of public land. That's it. If you're not hung up on, I got to have the best tag in the state, in Arizona, think about these late rifle tags. And in about 10 days, I'll report to you how well it went. I'm really setting myself up for a bad deal here. If we go there and we don't see any elk or we don't kill one, you people are all going to say, Newberg, shut up, put a cork in it, and get out of here. But I'm hoping that won't happen. But I want to thank Bowtech, Leupold, Onyx, Go Hunt, Ripcord, Tight Spot, Black Gold, Elk Foundation. All of them make this Elk Talk Live possible. And we're having a ton of fun with it. When we get off the road, we want to start doing some more creative stuff because we won't have the confines of connection speeds and everything else that when we're on the road, it's tough. We almost have to go rent a motel just to make sure we have a sturdy connection speed. But we would want your input of what you want. And you want us to talk about this. You want us to talk about that. You let us know, and we'll talk about it. And if it's something I don't know, we'll bring another guest on here, and we'll have he or she talk about it. But in the interim, we're probably going to check out, pack these cameras up, throw them in the truck, and head to Arizona. But remember, if you want notifications, text Randy, R-A-N-D-Y, to 77453. And you'll be lined up for everything. And if you want to watch us in other places, go to our podcast. You can get it on iTunes, Stitcher, all the normal podcast places, Google Play. It's called Hunt Talk Radio, Randy Newberg Unfiltered. Go to our Amazon Prime channel, Amazon Video Direct, it's really called. But if you got Amazon Prime, you get it for free. Go to our YouTube channel, Randy Newberg Hunter. And if you like sharing information or reading stuff about other hunters, go to our forum. We have a big forum called hunttalk.com. And this time of year, it's people just posting stories and pictures about their hunts, asking questions about equipment, applications. Lots and lots of really good hunters there. If you jump in and you're polite and you ask your questions well, you will get a lot of help out on hunttalk.com. So, what else we got, Marcus? Marcus is like, I don't know, go to Arizona and kill an elk, Randy. Thanks for watching, folks. Are we done?